So it's Saturday, 2:30 p.m. as of this recording. This is technically a trade recap video, day 6 on a Saturday. No moves to be done today or tomorrow. It is the weekend, but you'll get some murmurs and just brief updates, I guess, follow-ups, anything AFL related. But as of this recording, there's been no major updates for Collingwood-related trade talks and whatnot. Basically, just 2 bits of news to cover Collingwood-related here in this video on a Saturday, recording this earlier than usual because, it's a Saturday. I'm going to discuss that Jy Simpkin trade request from North Melbourne and also just comments from Nick Daicos today at the racecourses, just putting to bed any sort of trade murmurs and whatnot. It's not really a news story. It's a slow news day, but it's a Saturday. So this is a slow news day. 5 to 10 minutes, just get through this video and just move on with my life. I have a date with the mayor tonight. So here goes. And as usual, there's always a bit of a bombshell major update that occurs during my recording or just after my upload. And that happened last night, discussing the Jy Simpkin interest. And that's what it is at the current moment in time, whatever you want to call it. It's just interest in Jy Simpkin. There's a bit of bickering. We're not even close to a deal being done. North Melbourne want Jy Simpkin's contract off his books. That is, if they want to get rid of him, which I hope they don't get rid of him because he's their bloody captain. And Collingwood doesn't want to cough up any sort of first rounder for Jy Simpkin. And I think that's fair enough. Fair enough for North Melbourne, fair enough for Collingwood. And I'm also going to defend North Melbourne on this sort of trade request because, as reported by Xander Maguire, the son of Eddie, North Melbourne have requested 2 first rounders for Jy Simpkin. That ain't happening. Based on Jy Simpkin's form, that is not happening. And I get it. He's their captain, so a bit of a tax there. 2-time best and fairest. I don't know what their best and fairest is called, but fair play to North Melbourne. They're showing a bit of backbone here, I guess shin bone of spirit, if you will. 2 first rounders for Jy Simpkin based on his performance this year and also the trade market value, if that's such a thing. Sam Flanders, pick 7. Judd McPhee, pick 23 this year. Zach Merritt, who, in my opinion, get traded to Hawthorn at some point. I think a third club will sneak in, get the deal done, assist those 2 clubs there. So in terms of the trade market value this year, I don't think Jy Simpkin is worth 2 first rounders, but I take this trade request from North Melbourne as a case of, get the hint. We're not getting rid of him. But in saying that, if he's your captain, surely you just nip this in the bud straight away and say, look, he's our captain. We're working through it. We've got a role for Jy Simpkin for 2026 and beyond. He's off limits unless you are giving up your farm, your investments, your money, your everything, your firstborn daughter, your kidneys or whatever. Then we'll have a look into it. And that's just that. Just have a look into it. Not interested. He's your captain. And if this turns out, if on a Saturday here, as of this recording, by Wednesday, in 5 days' time, that Jy Simpkin is at Collingwood or at another club, and it's not even 2 first rounders, and you're also paying a certain chunk of Jy Simpkin's salary, then you have failed, and heads would have to roll at North Melbourne. Speaking of heads rolling, heads would roll if Jy Simpkin is at Collingwood, because there is no circumstances, in my personal opinion, that Jy Simpkin is worth a first rounder of any sorts. And I had to look at this as well. Not even a 2027 first rounder. So Tasmania will go into 2027 with picks 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and they'll be told to trade pick 5, 7, 11, and 13 for either future picks or for players that aren't eligible for free agency. Just use those picks to get those players in. Based on our ladder position this year, our 2027 first rounder would be pick 23. And I think that's about right for Jy Simpkin, and that's it. A 2027 first rounder, and you throw in sweeteners for future thirds or future seconds or late picks in this year's draft, or you add in players. And I had a look at North Melbourne's list right now. They delisted 2 rookies and 2 senior players, and their senior list spots are a bit tight at the moment. So I don't think a player from Collingwood would be going over to North Melbourne unless they've got a major second round of delistings at North Melbourne. Hopefully it's not the case because their 4 delistings this year are a little bit harsh. Eddie Ford, for example. So pick 23, 2027 first round. That's a 2027 first rounder. If we miss finals, it's anywhere from pick 2 to pick 17. So North Melbourne would be laughing to the bank on that one. And that's a bit overs. But basically, that's about it. A 2027 first rounder, a deal basically where Collingwood reaps the benefits now and also for next year, then North Melbourne reap the benefits in 2027 and beyond. But for North Melbourne, under no circumstances, and I'm going to defend North Melbourne here, there is no scenario, no circumstances, no anything where you get rid of not only your captain, but you're still paying a certain part of your captain's salary to play for another club. Where is your shin bone of spirit? Where is your general backbone? If that happens, heads have to roll. And also, again, for Collingwood, if we're giving up a farm for Jy Simpkin, no, heads would have to roll. We're on the lookout for assistant coaches. There's not many heads that would have to roll if Jy Simpkin's at Collingwood and we've given up the farm for him. We gave up basically a future first for Lockie Shields, but technically we gave up not only a future first, but Jack Ginnivan for Lockie Shields. And last year we gave up a future first for Dan Houston, but in reality we basically gave up a future first for Dan Houston as well as Joe Richards and John Noble in that three-way trade. So I don't want to be giving up too much of our future assets to bring in Jy Simpkin, who I guess would be our second best midfielder, but averaging 22 disposals a game this year, playing as an outside midfield role. He looked decent as an outside midfielder, but he wants more inside midfield minutes, I guess, or just overall midfield minutes. Basically playing a wing role. I'm waffling on this one. But I looked at North of Melbourne's out of contract players, and Will Phillips is out of contract, and that's someone I'd bring in for dirt cheap. Maybe a second rounder, maybe early third rounder, someone that hasn't gotten game time under Alistair Clarkson. Bit of instability at North Melbourne for Will Phillips. He looks promising. He's still young. Maybe a chance to invest in Will Phillips. But Jy Simpkin, I think he's 28 next year. If he's averaging 22 disposals a game this year, he has to improve those numbers to 25 disposals a game, basically a minimum. If you're going to be our second best midfielder, basically a Taylor Adams is what Jy Simpkin would be at Collingwood. And I wouldn't give up the farm for Jy Simpkin there. And I've seen fans online, not just Collingwood fans, even North Melbourne fans and just opposition fans, just neutral fans on this going, they're balking at North Melbourne's request for 2 first rounders, saying it's not even that close to that. But I get it for North Melbourne. You've been screwed over, pants down sort of thing, and just told to like it, I guess, in terms of your trade decisions. Draft picks moving around, and just you're seeing opposition clubs reaping the benefits of this, and you guys have just missed out on a lot. 2020, you drafted Phoenix Spicer, and 2 picks later, we picked up Beau McCreary. That's just a little example right there. I'm not sure if this is just a FU to Collingwood on this sort of trade request, but your captain, your most experienced head, or one of your most experienced heads as well. I'm not too sure if he's in your top 10 best players overall right now, but it is what it is. It's what you're asking. Fair enough. We shouldn't be giving this a second look. I shouldn't be talking about this, but here we are on a Saturday. I've got nothing to do, and here we are. But look, just to give this airtime, North Melbourne have requested 2 first rounders for Jy Simpkin, whatever the picks are. I don't know. John Ralph commented on this and said he's worth a top 15 pick. Fuck off, John Ralph. Yeah, I wouldn't give this a second look. I will do a day 7 recap, and I'll discuss the preview heading into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, basically, where we'll look at Jy Simpkin yet again. There'll be murmurs tomorrow. I guarantee that. Basically, fuel to add into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll go from there. But that's it for Jy Simpkin. I wouldn't give this a second look. Basically, hold the fort, Collingwood. Basically, hold on to Tom Mitchell for another year, if that's the case. Maybe look at Will Phillips from North Melbourne. But that's about it. Just hold the fort, persevere with what we've got now in the midfield. Ned Long, Josh Daicos going in there next year, Beau McCreary, more midfield minutes. Hopefully Harry Perryman goes into the midfield. Hopefully Jordan De Goey has a fully fit season. Ed Allen, more midfield minutes. Maybe Harvey Harrison pitch hitting in the midfield. Jack Crisp as well. Di Mattia debuting as well. We've got a cupboard, we've got a shelf with youngsters coming through. Yeah, Jy Simpkin's just a solid hand in the midfield if that's the case. Nothing special, so don't pay up a lot more than that. It's basically a second-hand car if we're going to be dishing up that. But no more analogies. Moving on to other things. Nick Daicos did comment on, I guess, the trade speculations, and he's basically just nipped this in the bud. He's staying at Collingwood. He's had no word from his manager in regards to a trade proposal or clubs looking into it. Just clubs speculating, I guess, or just asking the question at the club in general. But nothing major has occurred in regards to offering up a deal for Nick Daicos or anything like that. Nick Daicos is excited at the possibility of bringing in Jy Simpkin, just bettering our club and also our midfield overall. And he also commented as well on Craig McRae's, parting shot at Matt Rowell, and also the best and fairest voting system. But Nick Daicos congratulated Darcy Cameron on winning the Brownlow, or Best and fairest this year, Nick Daicos commenting he's the beneficiary of Darcy Cameron's hard work, but Darcy Cameron deserving this award. So I was going to comment word for word on this, but it's just a nothing article I've got right now. Understood the article and he is aware of the trade murmurs and whatnot this time of the year, but nibs it in the bud. He's staying at Collingwood. There's nothing to it. Yeah, no smoke to the fire. That's it. Jy Simpkin, the trade murmurs and interest is real. And Nick Daicos is not going anywhere anytime soon, unless he's going to Tasmania in a few years' time. We'll talk about that in a few years' time. That's a watch this space. That's all for this video. Jy Simpkin, interest is real. Nick Daicos not going anywhere. That is Saturday, done. Expect this uploaded before 5 o'clock or just on 5 o'clock. I'll leave you guys all to it. Hope you guys have had a good weekend so far. Please be well. Please be safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in a day 7 recap, technically.